The last time I recorded the video, I promised my little cousin Dylan I would give him a shout out in the next video. That was about 2 years ago now at this stage, so Dylan, this is your shout out, pal. Even if you see this. Guys, thanks a mil for tuning in. It's been a while. This is my first video now in a long time, but I am here to discuss 3 fragrances from Zaharoff. They are YouTuber collaborations with Curly Scents, TLTG Reviews and Stay Fresh Productions. Stay Fresh Productions has been someone I've followed since the beginning of my journey, or whatever you'd like to call it. I've watched him for a long time over the years, and I watched him since before I even started making videos and stuff. So his one was the one I was most looking forward to. But I have the 3 of them here, full bottles. I didn't buy them now, my brother did. He's a bigger collector than me now at this stage. I've smelt the 3 of them already. I'm going to smell them all again now on camera, put them onto some paper here, just give you my impressions of them and tell you the notes that pop out to me and what I think. So I'll start off with The Siren by Zaharoff, but Curly Scents was the collaboration for this one. So it comes in a box like this, very handy and easy to transport, I suppose. And you open it up then, and the bottle is inside like this. But the picture on the front is a picture of Andrea herself as some sort of mermaid or something. It's cool. It's a cool box. Cool name for the fragrance too. But the main thing anyway is here. And from looking at this from the get-go, I was looking forward to it because of the colour of the juice. I am big into dark juices and heavy stuff myself. So just as an FYI, I've not watched any videos on these at all. I just wanted to see what I thought myself before I looked at anything else. So on all of these fragrances I haven't looked at anything. But I have the notes here on my phone just to so I can go through, but I can tell you straight away. I'm just going to spray this now first onto this paper. 2 sprays. Zaharoff bottles are deadly, like they're really nice, high quality, and the sprayers are savage too, so obviously there's no problem with that. But I'll put that there. The first thing now I can get straight away is that cognac note. I didn't know it was cognac, but I think that's what's in Creation E by Roja, is cognac as well. So I do kind of get that very high class smell off the cognac, which is unbelievable. I was very impressed with this, and straight away I also get dark chocolate. Chocolate and cognac are the main notes that I get from this from the get-go. So there are actually lots of notes in this. So top notes: coriander, cardamom, ginger, almond, leather. In the middle notes then leather, coffee, dark chocolate, moss, and the base notes: Lerinox, haven't a clue what that is, looks like some sort of molecule, patchouli, cognac, and bourbon vetiver. But I didn't look at this note breakdown before I smelled this, but it would definitely have been one of my favourite ones on paper by a mile. The notes like cardamom, ginger, cognac, and coffee. And coffee is actually one of my favourite fragrances. I'll get to that in the next fragrance actually. But yeah, so nice, guys. This is now definitely something you'd wear on a night out. I wouldn't be wearing this every day. But The Siren by Zaharoff, probably my favourite of the 3, being honest with you. Curly Scents did a great collaboration here. Very nice fragrance. And one thing that's really important to me as well is that it doesn't smell like something I've smelled before. You can always kind of associate a note with a fragrance or whatever. But I didn't think, oh, this smells like such and such a fragrance. So there was one fragrance that came to mind with the smell of dark chocolate, and that was the scent Private Accord. But it's not like that fragrance. That fragrance has its own signature with the, what's the unusual fruit in the scent Private Accord? I can't think of it off the top of my head, but yeah, The Siren, guys. Curly Scents, thumbs up from me. Really like this. Would wear this on a night out. Very classy. possibly wear to a wedding as well. Like the cognac note is just really classy, and that's kind of where I would wear Creation E by Roja as well, to a wedding. This has chocolate in there as well, so it takes away a bit of the class, but absolutely fabulous fragrance. Curly Scents, nice one. So the next one then we have is Business Over Pleasure by TLTG Reviews. So this is his one, and this is the box it comes in. Cool box, and then the bottle is inside here like this. Cool presentation, simple but effective. Same presentation for them all, obviously, other than the pictures on the front of the boxes and the colours of the lids and juice, you know. But yeah, this one here is a nice blue bottle. Now I'm going to spray this on a piece of paper and give my impressions of Business Over Pleasure. Smells different off paper actually. I've had it on my skin. I'm going to put this one on my skin because this one is important. I have something important to talk about in this one now. So this one is a woody floral musky fragrance, different completely to Curly Scents' offering. I really loved this the second I sprayed it on, and the reason being, you might have noticed, when I was talking about Curly Scents fragrance, I mentioned my favourite fragrance, which is Endymion by Penhaligon's. And when I sprayed this, the first thing that came to mind was Endymion by Penhaligon's. And the funny thing is that the main accord in that fragrance is coffee, and there's no coffee in the breakdown of this. Now they do share notes like bergamot, pepper, and musk. So maybe it's the combination of those notes kind of give the similar vibe to Endymion by Penhaligon's, but yeah, that was the first thing that came to mind when I sprayed this on. Really nice, bright kind of scent, and again, it doesn't smell like anything else I've smelled, obviously other than Endymion, but I have a lot of experience with that because it's my favourite fragrance. I've had about 3 bottles of it. So again, this one has a big note breakdown, but I'll just let you know on top there's Szechuan pepper, Sichuan, coriander, bergamot, middle notes, Tuscan iris, lily of the valley, cashmere wood, lemon verbena and ginger, and then at the base notes there is musk, palo santo, whatever that is, looks like a wood or something, tonka bean, patchouli, amber and gaiac wood. So plenty of woods. Pepper is also a favourite note of mine in a fragrance. It's in this, and so is patchouli, tonka bean, amber, all great notes. Nothing really stands out to me other than maybe, I'm just looking here at the note breakdown and there's a picture beside cashmere wood and it looks like some sort of suede or something like that. And that is a kind of a vibe that I get from this, is suede, smooth, kind of everyday smell from this. Yeah, like the only comparison I can really make is the comparison to Endymion by Penhaligon's. If you like that fragrance, you'll like this. If you haven't smelled that fragrance, I can't really give you something else to compare to, being honest, from my own experience anyway, but it's a bright, a very pleasing scent. I did notice as well though when I sprayed this on my hand yesterday and the day before, the performance wasn't great. Now I know performance from your hand is different than if you spray it on your neck or clothes or whatever, but it smell was disappearing after about 2 hours, so the performance on this one is not 100% great. I'm not sure the prices of these now, being honest. My brother bought them. I like this, I definitely wear it, but I don't know if I'd buy it just because the performance isn't great. Now, saying that, Penhaligon's Endymion is not great performance either, so no one really cares as long as they like a fragrance, whether they're willing to pay money for it. Just spray on a few extra sprays or put it on a few times a day. But yeah, the performance on this one is obviously not the same as the Siren by Curly Scents, but obviously the notes in that are much heavier and it's easier to get performance out of heavier notes. But that's Business Over Pleasure by TLTG Reviews. Thumbs up for me, really like it. Not the best performer, but look, everything, all fragrances can't be perfect. this type of a fragrance never has great performance anyways. But yeah, I really like this one by TLTG Reviews, so thumbs up for me. Okay, so the one I was most looking forward to was Brass and Soul. This is by Stay Fresh Productions. Same packaging again, only his own personal picture on the front. And here's the bottle. Very nice, classy and elegant looking, just like him himself. Yeah, so Brass and Soul. So I was looking forward to this one the most, to be honest. I'm just going to spray it on a piece of paper here so I can give it a test. So we'll just go through the breakdown of this one, the note breakdown before I start into it. So top notes, water notes, mandarin orange, juniper. Middle notes, gin, lavender, bourbon, geranium, cypress, jasmine, lily of the valley. And base notes, bushman candle, don't know what that is, patchouli, amber, cedar, suede, moss and vanilla. Okay, so I really do like this one now after a bit of experience with it. For a few days I've smelled it and I've been testing it along with the other two. Firstly though, the first thing that came to mind when I sprayed this, unfortunately, was links. Off the skin it's much different than it is off the tissue as well. But Stay Fresh Productions, like that man, he's one of my favourite YouTubers, like ever. But I was disappointed at the beginning when I smelled this first, because it kind of smells like most men's deodorants or whatever on first sniff, but really after reading the notes and really looking into it, it actually has a lot more to it. And maybe I shouldn't even be saying that sort of thing, but like, I just have to be honest about my opinion. That was the first thing I thought when I smelled it first, was, you know, just Lynx or men's deodorant. But I do really like the note breakdown now. So it has gin, and I think gin really does stand out in this actually. Gin and mandarin orange in particular for me. And what's the other notes? Geranium, cypress, lavender, like lots of florals and green notes. Then there's amber, vanilla, suede, like a really nice, classy fragrance. This is kind of a night out / everyday fragrance for a man, maybe work fragrance. A bit heavy for the summer months, I'd say. And out of all of these three fragrances, the only one I'd wear in the summer would be TLTG Reviews ones, Business Over Pleasure. You see, some people might wear this all year round. I don't know if I'd like to smell this now in the summer because it's pretty heavy. There's not too many heavy notes in it, so I don't know why it feels that way to me, but maybe it's the amber and the vanilla are coming out in it as well. But really nice. Some people might call this a bit generic now, or a bit common, or I don't know, sorry, there's no nice way of saying it, but it does kind of smell like a lot of other things. But I don't see anyone being disappointed with it. But if you're looking for something really unique, this one wouldn't be one I'd go for. But funnily enough, this is exactly what I expect Justin Copeland to smell like. I don't know why, it's weird. It's just, maybe it's because it's his fragrance is why I'm saying that. But you know, sometimes when you just kind of match a scent with a person, I do anyway, like normal people probably don't, but maybe us fragheads do a bit more than others. But yeah, like when I smelled this, I kind of said to myself, yeah, that's probably exactly what Justin Copeland smells like. But yeah, that's my view on this, guys. I would recommend sampling all of these before buying anyway. I never recommend blind buying because I've done it too many times myself and regretted it. But yeah, I just wanted to give my impressions of those. I think they were three great collaborations with Zaharoff, and I know from seeing videos and seeing George Zaharoff himself in videos, he's a really nice guy, and he obviously clicked with the three of these and came up with three great collaborations, and they're great presentations. Not sure of the price, being honest. I was lucky enough that my brother bought them, so I was very lucky to be able to sample them here, and I can use them away myself here too. So I'd recommend checking them out, guys, which I'm sure at this stage you probably have already, and I'd love to know what you think of them down below. And yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you're keeping well. See you in the next one. Good luck.